Okay guys, now the new Logic 10.3 is out and you have to install it on an OS, OSX 10.11 or later. Now I'm running Mavericks on my own Mac, and a lot of people are still running Mavericks because it's stable, right? But if you want to run this new Logic, it's got a completely new look and it's got new features, right? The easiest thing to do is get a portable SSD that attaches to your Mac with USB 3, put OS Sierra on this, and just run the new Logic off this external drive. It's a really painless process to install Sierra on this, and even during the setup process you can transfer all your apps, your settings and even your documents from the internal hard drive on your Mac across to the external drive with the new OS. Right, so I'm just going to show you this install of OS Sierra on this disk, OSX Sierra. I'll edit it down to be sure, just to give you an idea of how easy it is. All right, you know, and then once you've set up OSX Sierra on this external SSD, then you can run the new Logic. And if you like the Sierra and everything, just work off this drive, right, and keep the internal drive as another boot, right? Okay, so let's get it out of the box and get it attached. Right, there's the actual physical drive, and as you can see, it's really dinky. Comes with this short cable. Attach it to the USB port at the back, and we'll get the install done. Okay, so here's my current Mavericks installation, right? And when you download OSX Sierra, it's not, you don't find it in your downloads, you find it in your applications. There it is, install macOS Sierra. So basically just download it from the App Store. It might look like when you click to down, because it might say install when you click to get it on from the App Store, right? And you might think, oh my god, if I click install, it's going to overwrite my Mavericks or whatever OS you're using. It doesn't. It just downloads the install there, then it begins the setup process. But when it's finished downloading, you just see the box on the screen saying, you know, install macOS Sierra. It doesn't automatically go into the process of installing the OS, so you get the chance to choose which hard drive you're going to install it on, right? But there it is in your applications, right? It doesn't end up in downloads when you get it from the App Store. Okay, so I'm going to attach the hard drive now. Okay, so I've attached the SSD drive. Yep, there it is down there. It's attached, right? And then you go to your utilities, and I'm just going to check it in disk utility. Disk utility. There's disk utility. There it is, the Samsung. It may not be set up. Oh yeah, no, it isn't set up right. It's set up for FAT. Right, so we click on the main disk there. We erase it as OSX journaled, extended journaled. I'll leave it as untitled at the moment. And erase. Yeah, erase. Ooh, fast as lightning. Right, so then we end up with this untitled here, right? There. Alright. So you select the main drive here, not the untitled erased partition underneath, the main drive. Go to partition, select one partition, Mac OS extended journaled, go to options, make sure it's set to GUID partition table. Right, that's it. OK, apply. Partition. That's it, done. Well, I'll title it afterwards. That's it, so that should be done. I'll just hide disk utility. Okay, so the next thing is now we just go to, should we be, here we are, install Mac OS Sierra. Double click. Let's move this out of the way. There we are. And so after you download the Mac OS Sierra, this pops up on your screen. Right, and you can just cancel it, and you can find it again in your applications, install macOS Sierra, right? But anyway, so we install the OS, continue, agree to the license thing. Now the default is it's going to put it on the default hard drive inside your Mac, and this is an iMac I'm using, right? So it wants to put it on the Macintosh hard drive. But you just do show all disks, and there's the My Book attached to this Mac, which is where I store all the recording footage when I'm doing video reviews and tutorials. There's the new SSD. Select it, click install. I've got to put my password in and click this add helper. Okay, off we go. Now don't worry if it seems like it's taking a while. You know, there's a pause before things kick off. All right. Here we go. Okay, we're at about halfway through this first bit, and it's taken about 2 minutes to get to this point. Okay, it's not slow. It doesn't take forever. Okay, we are getting to the end of this bit. Your computer will restart automatically in 26 seconds. Now, for that phase of the install, I've timed it on the stopwatch on my phone. That took about just over 6 minutes, right? Just over 6 minutes. I'll manually restart. Restart. Close other applications. Didn't know there were any open. Oh, Share Mouse is running, I think. Okay, so we're rebooting. There we go. Now, when you go to reboot, don't know if you can see this. If I turn the screen brightness down, it won't do it. Yeah, can you just see this little white bit moving up the middle of that thin grey bar? Right? Okay, whoop, that's gone away. Okay. There's a beach ball happening up on the top left. Oh, and then we're back, and now, you can see it better now. And the white line's moving across. Okay, so I've just adjusted the camera to make it more straight. And it's still installing. This is the second phase after reboot, right? I don't know if you can see that. It says installing about 13 minutes remaining now. Okay, so I'll let this bit happen. Okay, we're at halfway now through the second phase of the install after reboot. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, the bar is now fully done. Okay, now there's another reboot. Right. Right, now there's another part of the install. There you go, let's finish that bit. Whoop, here we go. Yeah, I'm hoping this SSD drive will give the iMac a new lease of life, because whilst it's got more CPU processing power and more memory than my MacBook Air, the MacBook Air is way faster to open and do things because of the SSD. Now, due to the exposure, you can't see what's... hang on.
macOS contains a built-in screen reader called VoiceOver. If you know how to use VoiceOver, press Command F5 now to turn it on and set up your Mac. If you would like to learn how to use VoiceOver to set up your Mac, press the Escape key.
Okay, so we're into the setup now, and so United Kingdom for me. Continue. British, because I'm British. Selected. Continue. Now it wants my Wi-Fi. Come on. You. And I've got to put my password in for my Wi-Fi now. Continue. Connecting. Right, now this is the bit about transferring from your old Mac. It says transfer information to this Mac. And you might think, oh God, I can only transfer information from another physical Mac, but you can actually transfer the information from the internal hard drive on the Mac that you're working on. Okay, so I'm going to transfer from a Mac, Time Machine Backup, or startup disk. Right, so continue. And it finds my Macintosh hard drive. That's the disk inside the iMac. Now it's looking for other sources, but that's the one. Select it and continue. And now it's checking the Macintosh hard drive. It'll probably come back and say, this hard drive is completely knackered. Right. So I'm going to transfer data, information from the internal hard drive of the Mac to this Mac, which is the SSD I'm setting up. Now, I don't want to transfer documents. Here we go, continue. So this is going to be the long bit. Here we go, transferring your applications folder. Alright, about 51 minutes remaining. Still going on, about 31 minutes remaining. Okay, so now we're rebooting. Okay, what's going on? Here we go. Updating incompatible software list. I've been recording this all the way through, and so far the whole install has taken 1 hour and 12 minutes, including filming that little bit of the SSD drive. Incompatible software. The following software found on your old Mac is incompatible. Western Digital Smartware. Okay. Pen tablet preferences. Okay, that's, I've got a little writing tablet thing. A bamboo. Right, where's my mouse gone? It's hard to see the mouse with the screen turned down this gloomy. Oh, there it is. Continue. Sign in with your Apple ID. Right, I have to do this. Excuse me a moment. There we go. Now then, what we got here? Terms and conditions, macOS software license agreement, privacy policy, cloud terms, game center. Agree. Yeah, I agree. Ah! Here we go. Continue. Creating account. Setting up account. Would you like to set up an iCloud keychain? No, I wouldn't. OSX Yosemite and later use iCloud Drive to keep your documents up to date across your devices. To continue storing documents in iCloud, you'll need to upgrade to iCloud Drive. Not now. Are you sure you don't want to upgrade to iCloud Drive? OSX Yosemite and later to update. If you upgrade, changes will be made to documents on this Mac will not be available to other devices. Yeah, I don't use iCloud. Boom. Yeah, it told me that before. Western Digital Smartware and the pen tablet are not compatible. Keep going. Diagnostics and usage. Help Apple and app developers improve the products. Send diagnostics. Send crash data. Yeah, I'll leave that. Enable Siri on this Mac. Well, I think the microphone on this iMac is actually a bit broken and distorted, but I'll enable it anyway. I'm presuming I can turn it off afterwards. Here we go. Come on, baby. Yeah. Holy mackerel, and there we are. Logic Pro X. Come on. I'm right clicking, but I'm not getting any, you know, like show information. Well, let's double click and let's see what happens. No, it's still on 10.2.2. Logic Pro. Right. App Store. Updates. More license failures. Boom, 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 boom. Right, now. There's an iTunes software update, GarageBand, yes, Logic Pro X, and there's an update for Compressor, which I use as well. I don't want to update the iTunes, but to be honest, okay, let's just do Logic Pro X update. Well, it's done the update. What's happening then? Logic Pro X, is it just done it? I don't know what's going on. Hang on. Anything behind it? Any setup? No, right, okay, so let's just try opening Logic again from applications here. Don't know if it's done it. Oh, hey, yeah, that's different. Right, here we go, 10.3 then, we got it. Continue. Empty project, choose. Yeah, there we go. Right, let's just increase the brightness of the screen a bit. Okay. So there we go, the new Logic, right? And that is how painless it is to set up the new, to set up a new OS on. Let me just move the camera across. To set up a new OS on an external drive in order to run this new Logic, right? It's pretty painless, right? The total install time there was about an hour and 20 minutes. And that's an hour and 20 minutes to the point where I've got the new Logic downloaded and installed, and look, there it is running. Okay, so we'll come off the camera now and I'll check my screen capture software works alright, and let's take a look around this new Logic. Yay! And here is the new Logic, and as you can see it's got this new flat appearance, you know, the new graphic look. Okay, and I'm going to be doing videos about the new Logic, which will be up in the next 24 hours, but I just wanted to say, to go with this Sierra install on the SSD drive, the difference with this Mac now in terms of its speed is just mind-blowing. It's like I've gone out and bought a brand new Mac. I cannot emphasise how much of a difference it's made to this Mac, and not only in terms of speed. There's a everything just seems more in focus. So perhaps the graphic drivers are better written. I don't know, but if we look at UltraBeat in Logic here, this interface, the UltraBeat interface, is just so much more crisp and sort of in focus. I mean, it really is. It looks way crisper than in the previous version of Logic on Mavericks. I can't explain it. So there's a general crispness which I can only put down to the graphics drivers in this Sierra. Must be just way better or something. I don't know. But the speed of this machine, now it's running off this SSD drive, is just mind blowing. So there's a tip. If you're looking for a decent machine to run Logic on, don't bother buying a new 5 or 4K iMac. Find a 2014 non-Retina display iMac, second hand. Buy a cheap SSD drive, external. Put the Sierra on it, and bloody hell, it's fast as bloody lightning. I'm telling you, it really is. Absolutely mind-blowingly fast. Let me show you. Let me quit Logic. Look, quit Logic. Ready? See how fast it quits. And it's gone. 2 seconds to close. Now watch how fast it opens. Now, okay, I know the internal hard drive on this iMac is not running as good as it should be. But even when I got it new, when I used to open Logic, from the time I clicked on the icon on the dock to when it was ready for me to fully open, ready for me to click to create a new project, was 20 to 30 seconds, running off a normal SATA hard drive. But now watch how fast it boots off the SSD. Ready? Here we go. Boom. And that's it. It's booted. It's like, what's that? 4 seconds. Jeez Louise, I'm telling you, man, it's just mind-blowingly fast, this iMac now. Okay, it's still got to go back for it. It's still under AppleCare. It's got to go back because the internal drive is not running as good as it should. It probably needs replacing, and the spring that allows you to tilt the screen to any angle inside the casing has snapped. So it's got to go back. But I'm telling you, get an older iMac, get a cheap SSD, put Sierra on it, put Logic on it, and you are going to get a mega bang for buck Logic workstation, which will be as fast as the proverbial FC UK, you know what I mean? So there you go. I hope that's useful, and stay tuned. I'll be coming with some Logic 10.3 videos in the next 24 hours.